Hello, my beautiful ones, and welcome back to Intuitive Energies. My name is Jane, and I do readings for the Pisces Collective. Yes, absolutely, I do. If you have been to my channel before and you like it and you haven't subscribed, I invite you to do that now. Hit the notification bell to all as well. Press that like button. It helps. I would like to thank you for supporting me and putting up and tolerating all the ads. This is how I feed my family. Thank you very much. All the rest of the information you need is in the description box below. Absolutely. So, I started without you, absolutely, because I wanted to speak with Spirit and see what we were talking about today. The first card they gave me was the Circle card, which said a lot to begin with. The Circle of Life. Also, it's number 8, working well, working hard at something. As well, first thing I noticed is the bigger picture, and they do talk about that. I will read what the meaning of the card is for you. And that fits absolutely right. Whether you're in the beginning of the circle, the middle of the circle, it is always around and round and round. You have a beginning, a middle, and end, and then you begin again, okay? So it's very much about that. The other cards that came out were the Six of Pentacles and the Tower card, the Four of Swords and the Nine of Swords. And I thought, ooh, that's some gruesome things, but it's not. It's really to let you know that these changes, these tower moments that we go through in life are to make us have a deeper look. Because some days you're going to be the one handing out the cash, but there's may be days that you're the one who's going to be receiving it. In other words, you may be in need of help, and some days you'll be able to help. And it's all within a balance. And it's all tower moments that shock us and make us really reflect on our lives and what's going on and where we need to be and the lessons we need to learn. Now, these two, when they came out, I thought of a opposition of emotions. Instead of really struggling through it or really thinking and focusing on the anxiety of the moment, whatever we're going to. Like this week, we had the Two of Swords, so we're focusing on this. If we focus on the struggle so much instead of just resting and healing and trying to get insight, this would be a better way to do it. Because in the grand scheme of things, we're just a very little small part. Even though it is very important to us, there's a much bigger picture, okay? Something that we can look at to improve on our lives. And we can, okay? The circle really, really helps us. So I'm going to bring this back up and I'm going to read it to you. So it says, unification, interconnectedness, and a sense of continuum is what this card implies. The circle reminds us we are one, right? Dancers in a unified, continuous, inclusive circle. This card reminds us that the cycles of life and the evolving self ever-changing and always connected. Human, spirit, nature, the cosmos, all intrinsically connected. Beautiful. And it says when it reminds you that you're connected to everything and everyone, including to spirit, okay? And spirit essence beats in your heart, inspires you to co-create your world, knowing that you count, that you have purpose in this world. Imagine even a smile to a stranger can change the course of a life. When the circle invites you to dance in the sacred steps of life, know that your work, your love, your service brings greater value than you can know. Stay the course, keep dancing, and all will be well. Okay? It said, yeah, and the medicine, I'm going to read the medicine because it applies to these two cards here. In other words, it come out reverse. And I do think it did flip out in the reverse when I first did it. So I'm going to read it. And I think this applies more for what I'm feeling with this card. So it says, you're meant to come to an understanding of the importance of decay and letting go. The importance of dying to an old form and being reborn anew. If you're faced with the challenge of disappointment or loss, remember this. In the circle of life, nothing is ever wasted. This is the big picture that I was talking about. Love would seek itself again. Prosperity will come from a new idea or opportunity. And Spirit always waits for you to find your place in the dance again. So there's a much bigger picture for everything that you do. Always, always. Just remember this, Pisces. It's always coming in for a reason, for a season. So your very small view of things may have a much bigger purpose further down the road. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Spirit of place. I do think we've had that one before. And that's number 4, half of 8. Authenticity is the essence of power. So this is speaking of being authentic to yourself. Our ancient ancestors believed that every place has a spirit looking after it or embodying it, just as we have a soul. The plants, trees, birds, mountains, and rivers have their own essences. When a spirit of place arrives in your reading, it says that the answer to your query is the overarching theme of your circumstances. Is your question about a struggle? I swear to God, I said struggle, right? I did. The answer is to relax and let go of your need to control the situation. If your inquiry relates to finding love, then embody love then rather than long for it. Once you find the essential truth that underlies your question and then name it, you'll discover the answer you've been seeking. Your greatest power is your authenticity. Okay, so we were talking about you having the magic. So the magic for yourself, Pisces, from what I'm being told here, is being authentic to your true self. Okay, so in other words, knowing what you want. Knowing what you want out of life and going after it, I do believe is kind of sort of the message there. Okay, grab another one here. Be proud. It's time to celebrate all that you've achieved, all that you are, and all that you will become. Every once in a while, it's important to stop and acknowledge what you've achieved and to be proud. So above all else, and I love the peacock feathers, not lost on me, pride does have its place, especially if it's there to encourage you, to move you forward. And I like the way every once in a while is important to stop. So that was a lot of the messages that were coming through for this first week, was to just stop for a moment, right? To rest, to take time out, and not to stress too much about the situation. So it really is important for you to just relax into it. And remember, you work so hard. I know I do, and I forget that I do. It takes a lot of work to do this channel. It does, it really does. It may not look like it. The videos arrive and they're just here, but there's a lot going on in the background. There's a lot of organization to make sure that, you know, everything runs smoothly. Plus I have to do the reading themselves. But I forget that I work so hard for this. The only thing in my mind is I need to make sure the messages get out there. But there's a lot of work. And I think it's just to tell you that I think sometimes we underestimate our value. We underestimate just how hard we work. We just think of the outcome or what needs to be done. So please take a moment, if you're this type of person, to just kind of, you know, let it sink in that you're a hard worker, that you've come a very, very long way. Okay? I love this one. Surrender to divine timing. So again, If you're stopping for a moment or two, there might be timing to this as well, okay? Sometimes divine timing may differ from your ego's timing. If a goal isn't manifesting fast enough according to your ego, be patient and trust the universal flow. So, right. Okay, it's so funny that you have pride and then ego here. So they're, I guess, two different things. Okay, that's what they're saying. And they're saying don't, just let it be. Okay, I feel like singing the McCartney song, Let It Be, let it be. Yeah, whisper words of wisdom, let it be. There you go. So we're going to leave this here. Because I do feel that they have a real impact, like I said. Remember as well that it's a give and take, and sometimes it really isn't like this big of a moment. It's just a moment for you to stop and look and check that everything's still okay. That this disruption that we have, usually the towers in the other deck, that's what it's called, is there for a reason, okay? Everything for a reason, everything for a season. It doesn't need to be a big drama. It doesn't need for you to stay up nights worrying. I hear needlessly, okay? Right. Because as soon as you get rest or let it go, I feel that things will start moving ahead again. The Eight of Wands, okay? Either good news is going to come in, and this came out as well in the July reading for the first week, that at one point, good news is going to come in and it's going to start moving in fast. You're gonna start picking up speed again. It's just a little boop in the, big scheme of things. And maybe it's just enough for you to catch your breath. Or maybe that is the whole point. To catch your breath and look at the big picture. See how far you've come. Okay? Where you're going. The road to success may not be as long or far out as you think. You may have done already so much of the work that it's just, now you're just moving it along. That's it. Okay? Right. So in this case with this King of Wands, I do feel it's like taking charge of the big picture. Taking charge of making the little moment into a more meaningful big moment, if you get my drift. In other words, instead of sitting and just focusing on the little struggle and feeling terrible about it, let go of that feeling and look at the big picture and think of exactly how far you've come. Enjoy the moment off and think to yourself, better days are ahead and this is just not that bad. Okay? So they're really telling you to take control so that you can really just face it in a much better way. Right? Negative thoughts, be gone. Okay? Tower and this. Mountain out of a molehill is what I'm hearing. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill. It's just a little bump. It's not a big bump. Okay? So it's easy to fall into negative energies, especially if you're surrounded by them or you go inside of your head round and round. You can really do it to yourself. It really just, you know what? If I get into this, I go to bed. Honestly, I go to bed early. If I can't go to bed at the moment that I'm doing it, I call it a night. I do bubble bath or bubble something and just call it a day. Okay? And I realize that it's okay for me to feel not okay. And but not dwell on it. Okay? Don't dwell on it. Just realize that you need a reset. Okay? Right. You need to renew yourself. The Ace of Cups. Okay? And you need to treat yourself with love. Kindness and love. And take good care of yourself. Because if you don't, then you're just going to feel awful. And that's not okay. That's not okay. Okay. So now we have the World. The World is always about cycles. This is the circle to me. Okay. It even does have a circle on it. It's absolutely the circle. This is what life is. It's about going round and round. That's just the way things are. Okay? They slow down, they speed up, they stop, they move forward, they stop. There's always something new to be learned. There's an ending, a beginning, there's a middle. There's everything. There's a hodgepodge of everything. This is life. It's not to oversimplify it, but this is really what they're saying. Try to oversimplify it, okay? Live your life and let it kind of flow in and out of your existence, okay? When things happen, take them go with the flow. That's basically what that is. Go with the flow of the situation. Be a curious person as to, oh, I'm at this part of the journey and we're hitting a snag. There must be something I need to look at, okay? Instead of having a fit and driving yourself nuts and losing sleep and going negative, try to do it in a different way. Try to do it in a different way. It's going to serve you so well, okay? This is not avoiding. There's a difference between avoidance and negativity and just knowing things as they are, but not letting them affect you like a child, basically. Yeah, I see that this lesson could be passed on to the world. All the hashtags, and you did this to me, and if people would just sit for a minute and just let those emotions pass for just a second. I try to look further, deeper, with a subjective mind, is what I'm hearing. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to pull too many more cards here, but I would like to pull some of these, because I'm going to save some for the extended here. Whoa. Go with the flow. Creator water. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is who we are. We can do that. This part of this, honestly, Pisces, we're built for it. Okay? We're built for going with the flow. We're built for, like, yeah, I'm just going to sit here and float for a while. You know? I'm not going to drain the pond. I'm not going to kill the fish. I'm just going to float here and think about this for a second and see what else we can do. Okay? Absolutely. Go inside of yourself. Really hit your stride here. Light in the unexpected. Right. Okay. So again, this, I'm going to move this over because we see the Tower card. I love this card because it's telling me that when you get hit by lightning, look around, there's something you might be able to see. And this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever said. But lightning does put a light on a situation, does it not? Of course. You ever seen that lightning? I'm actually seeing it in my brain where suddenly for a second everything is day. Have you ever hit like lightning at night? It's so beautiful. It's scary as hell, but it is so beautiful. For a second, everything lights up and it's like daylight was here for a second. It's like night turned into day. And this is what they're showing me. Clarity in the eyeball here. Okay? So when things like that happen in the unexpected, or you're getting hit by something and you're thinking, why me? There's a light in it. There's a moment of aha. There's something you need to look at. There's a bigger picture. Again, that bigger picture analogy of this reading. Right. Feed your artist. I don't think I've ever seen this one. I like this one. This is 10. So this is where you're trying to get. Okay, because at the end of the month, remember, we had the Empress. I'm getting the Empress vibe here with this. Feed your artist. Feed your creator, your inner creator. I love this. Okay, so one more here, and then we're going to save the rest for later on tonight. The Spirit's going to give their 2 cents. Not that they haven't been given their 2 cents, but that's when I kind of let them... This is like the situation, okay? And then when they come in, they kind of give their own version or possible solutions, or I don't know. They just give more. Everything is always working out for me. Right. This is great, okay? This card really speaks, and it's great, and it's true. Nothing ever goes wrong, because every piece of contrast, no matter how wrong it seems to be, is always helping you to clarify what is you do want. Yeah, I can't make up how synchronistic, how like these cards fall through. It's great. And that is the thing that we want you to remember most of all. The contrast, no matter how it looks in any moment, is contributing mightily to your expansion. The things that you call things going wrong in your life experience are actually only the distance between the things that are so right and your current perspective about them. Absolutely. The big picture. Told by Hester X. So much better than I could, and Abraham. Yeah. So this is, yeah. Things are always working out for me, even when they're going wrong. It's go figure, right? So, like I said, take this week with a grain of salt. Look at it with fresh eyes, Pisces. And pretty soon you're going to have it all figured out. You really are. It's not that hard, okay? It's not that hard. Just sit back and let it come in and give you something. Because it's definitely, Spirit is definitely trying to give you something to help you out here. An awesome tool that you can use for the rest of your days when dealing with situations. Alright, so I'll be back for the extended. Make sure to subscribe so that you are notified when I come back with all this great info from Spirit. Take care of yourself, Pisces. I'm sending you lots of love, light, blessings, and peace of mind. Take care of yourself.